Hello! Thank you for coming to this video today, guys. I really appreciate it. This is my weekly Cardano recap. I go over all the information you've missed in the last week or maybe week and a half sometimes in the Cardano ecosystem, and then I sum it all up in kind of a 20-minute video. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes 20, sometimes it's 30, depending on how much action has been going on. We're going to be going over a lot of cool stuff in this video today. We're going to be going over, first off, all of Project Catalyst, Cardano's Voltaire. It's one of the most important things in Cardano. It's the voting system. And that's very, very important for the longevity of Cardano and also the future of Cardano. And the more people that participate in voting, the better. So make sure you guys understand all this information. I'm going to be going kind of a complete guide on all of the Catalyst stuff that you've missed. It's kind of going to be a recap of the town hall if you've already seen that. We're also going to be talking about the Celsius news, a little bit from that live stream that Charles and Crypto Crow did. And then we're also going to be going over the IOTA bridge. Just a way for IOTA to actually be on the Cardano protocol as a native token. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be an awesome video today, so I really hope that you guys stay till the end. If you want to support my channel, the best way you can do so is click the like button, click that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. Right now, we're in a bull market. Cryptocurrency is going crazy, and when you leave a like on this video and you click that notification bell and you click the comments, it actually does push my channel out to new people. I get comments every single day. I am new to Cardano. I see your passion. So if you want to pump your bags some more, please do this, and it also supports the channel. I really appreciate it. Another way you can support me is by delegating to my pool, Bloom. We actually had the 8th ever block minted by a stake pool on Cardano. We've been here since the beginning, and we'll be here till the end, and we pay kick-ass returns. So there's not much more that needs to be said about that. If you're also thinking about setting up your own stake pool, feel free to contact me at peyton@bloompool.io. I offer consultation, and that can just be a one-on-one quick catch-up or a step-by-step walkthrough. So let's jump into the video today, guys. So we're just going to hop right into the Catalyst stuff, right? So I'm going to take this step by step. So they had these slides. This video is pretty long. It's an hour and 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is do a quick cover and also show you guys, but I am going to keep some of the ethos in here. I think that the ethos and like the ideologies behind this, what they're trying to promote, I think is a good thing, right? Because eventually Cardano holders will be the only ones voting on this. It's going to be a completely self-sufficient system. So what they're trying to do is promote certain ethos for longevity and sustainability. So I think it's important to mention those ethos, and that's why I'm going to be doing it, right? So to start off, Catalyst adoption. So Fund 3 is the new fund. The last fund was Fund 2. It hasn't been finished yet, and we'll go and take a look at the stats real quick right here. I'm probably going to have to zoom in so you guys can actually see this. It's not letting me zoom in, but the fund, so right here, I wanted to show this. So Fund 2 was the last fund. It's the fund that I participated in. And in Fund 2, it was kind of the first ever real fund. It was for $250,000. And essentially all you had to do is get on Idea Scale, promote an idea. After you promote the idea, there's like a proposal or a proposal. Yeah, so the proposal is you submitting the idea. Following that, there's someone that looks over the idea and rates it. And then you have some time to finalize it before you do that. Following that, it's actually you vote in the app using your real ADA. And each ADA is a vote. The minimum was 8,000. So that's kind of all you've missed, right? That's Fund 2. It was the first ever fund. It was real hard to do. Hardware wallets couldn't be used. It was kind of the first fund, so it had a lot of problems. So what we're entering now is the Fund 3 phase, right? And that actually started, so we're kind of in the idea phase. So we're going to get to more on this later, but it's essentially just the sequel to Fund 2, and this time around it's going to have $500,000 instead of $250,000. So it's double the amount. More people are going to get funded. More value is going to come from that. And then I wanted to look at Catalyst adoption, right? So this is the goal, right? So adoption, Dor always says this, that this is the one thing that you can do to actually increase the price of ADA with your ROI on your vote, right? If you vote for the right projects, if you vote for the right things that bring adoption, that bring value to ADA, then eventually it will raise the price of ADA, right? So they have some goals, right? It's very important to set goals, especially for something like this. So Catalyst adoption. So the goal is to go from a $500,000 fund to a $10 million fund size, right? So that's a big, big jump. You know, I mean, that's 20x right there. And then the other goals, we're currently at 4,000 members right now, and we want to go to 10,000. And then we want to go from 2% voter participation. That's all that participated in Fund 2 is only 2%. So your voice hasn't been heard. Most of the people watching this video, your voice hasn't been heard, right? Let me switch back to this real quick so you guys can actually see me pointing at it. So like I said right here, 4,000 to 10,000, 2% to 50%. That's the goal, is 50%. So 50% voter participation. I don't see that happening. I really don't. 100 to 500 proposers, which I could see that happening. All of these metrics I think are reasonable except for the 50% voters. I mean, it could happen, but that's hard. I mean, 2%, you know, I mean, think about 4,000 to 10,000. That's an easy jump, right? Versus 2% to 50%, you know. So let's scroll through the video a little bit more, and then let me see. So this is kind of that treasury ROI I was talking about earlier, you know, so we have the governance aspect. So the governance is us changing like parameters, you know, like the K parameter or other parameters that are going to affect the ecosystem and the rewards distribution. And then like, so for the treasury ROI, we have to worry about innovation and then also the execution of the innovation, right? So let me get to, so Fund 3 features 3 challenges: the DApp Creation Challenge, which is $250,000 in ADA, and then the Dev Ecosystem Challenge, which is another $250,000 in ADA. So this is different than Fund 2. Fund 2 is very general, right? It was how do we actually get developers and entrepreneurs to build businesses on top of Cardano. So it's very general, right? Because you could call me an entrepreneur, right? I had a podcast that I wanted to build on top of the blockchain, right? I wanted to have this podcast all about Cardano called the Cardano Aura, right? I'm considered an entrepreneur, so I meet the requirements of Fund 2, right? Whereas Fund 3, it's specifically the DApp Creation Challenge and the Dev Ecosystem Challenge, right? So from my understanding, Dev Ecosystem means like more tools for devs, the ability for more devs to come in and have more tools to use. And then the DApp Creation Challenge is just decentralized application creation, right? So 250,000 for each. So that's different, right? I mean, we have an actual like challenge here, you know. It's not so broad and general that anyone's going to sign up for it. And then another thing that's really interesting is that eventually we're going to have to create these ourselves. So for example, Fund 5 right here. So obviously there's going to be a Fund 4 in the middle. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it's the Community Choice Challenge. And that's $500,000 in ADA for Fund 5. And this is important because, like I said earlier, your ADA is a vote. So we're going to have to be self-sustaining. There's going to have to be people in the community, whether it's me, whether it's other people that become the Voltaire people. They're going to have to pick up the torch, essentially, and push this adoption, this drive, and people actually using the system. I'm going to try my best to do that on this channel. So if you guys want updates about this stuff, click that like button, click the subscribe button, notification bell, and comment down below, because that notification bell will actually notify you when I post a video so you don't miss the registration date. Because the last registration date was from like a Friday to a Monday or Tuesday. So you had like 3 or 4 days to do it. So a lot of people missed it, and they actually didn't get to vote in the first ever fund. And that would make me sad if I didn't at least get to vote with one of my wallets. So it's very important you stay up to this date because it moves very fast, right? And then we're going to have to be self-sustaining. So we're going to make our own challenge. So we, as Cardano holders, as people in this community, we're going to have to figure out what we want, right, for Fund 5. What would bring the most value, the highest treasury ROI based on the amount of money we have in the treasury for $500,000? What would bring the most value? What kind of challenge? What would it be? DeFi? Would it be NFTs? What would it be? You know, and that's a question for you. Comment down below what you think would be good for that. But I think that's pretty cool. I like that we're getting to choose a fund. And then this is the many different ways to contribute. I really do ask that you guys contribute. All the important links will be down below for this stuff. So many different ways to contribute. So the first, like I said earlier, is the proposer, right? The proposer is someone with an idea. You know, I get on there with an idea about a podcast, or you get on there with an idea about a DApp, or a way to integrate Shopify into Cardano. Any idea that you have that you think will provide value, you post it. And you do it on cardano.ideascale.com. I post the link. It might be .io, but I'll have the link for that down below. That's where you propose the ideas, and that should be up right now. If you have new ideas for Fund 3 that meets the Fund 3 challenges, you can propose them right now. Also, one thing I wanted to say is you might be able to get away with having something that's not in the idea or not in the challenge, because I mean it's kind of a decentralized vote. Anyone can vote for it. So, community advisor and voter. But at the same time, I think it's important to have, you know what I mean? So community advisor and voter, right? So let me switch back so you guys can see this. So community advisor and voter, this is somebody that votes, right? This is somebody that is like just gets on the app, the cell phone app, which I'll have a guide on when it comes out again, and votes on these. And there's also somebody that actually reviews the proposals, right? So there's usually 3 challenges, and those three challenges, people actually get on there, they review the proposal, and it's like a rating from 1 to 5 on the proposal. So you guys can do that, and you actually get paid in IOTA for doing so. So this is kind of just like some hype stuff, you know, what is possible. They talk about Y Combinator, which has 200 or 2,000 companies funded with over a $100 billion valuation in all of those companies. So what's really cool about this, and I agree with this completely, is catalyst funds can innovate quickly. You know, a regular company can hardly pivot. It can explore and exploit doesn't work. You know, 75% failure rate, slow to hire, risky to fire, slow to build consensus. Whereas we have an experiment, right? We have hundreds of experiments a year. Crowds can explore without cups, can mobilize thousands in a week. No need for consensus. Results speak for themselves. So I really like that. I agree with it. And I think that's a huge step up from a regular company. Now, this is kind of what a DAO is. You know, it's the whole point. So we're essentially having a DAO that's revolved around the Cardano protocol. So this is crazy. So a new fund every 6 weeks, right? So we have Fund 3, Fund 4, Fund 5, Fund 6. So we're going to be all the way up to Fund 11. And I think 11 will actually finish at the beginning of next year. So this is double the pace, right? I mean, it might even be triple the pace. Yeah, so from 3 funds to 9. You know, but they were at the end of the year. So this is pretty cool. So a new fund every 6 weeks. So we're in the innovation phase and then the governance phase. And the governance phase is the voting, right? So February 17th is we're going to start registering to voting and then voting. Or maybe this might be the review period, you know, February 17th. Don't keep these dates kind of hard to point. I really would recommend following me on Twitter or subscribing to this YouTube channel, because there's really no other way. These dates change all the time. I mean, first, when I heard this stuff that we were supposed to be starting in November, and then it lasted 2 more months, and we actually end up voting in January, right? So take these dates with a grain of salt. It could have just been the experimental fund the first time, but I do think you need to keep that in mind. It's very important. So we'll move on a bit. So then he talks about kind of the ethos and like looking back and seeing if like the challenge or what we did actually worked. You know, how many developers did we actually track? Did we meet the challenge? It's important to look back at this for learning. I agree with that 100%. Okay, so this is the actual innovation phase schedule, which is important to go over. So we have insight sharing, share perspective. This is January 6th through 13th. This is not, I repeat, this is not the idea phase. So right here where it says proposal draft submission, this is when you actually submit ideas. There was a big issue last time where people in the insight sharing phase proposed their ideas instead of sharing perspective. The sharing perspective, I personally think it's pointless, but what the goal of it is you get on there and you say, well, maybe we should change this, or this is the perspective I gained from the last fund, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's the point. That's from January 6th to the 13th. And you'll be able to actually propose your ideas starting on the 13th. So very important. And then proposal refinement. This is on January 20th. So the structured feedback. And the structured feedback is just comments, right? We're all working together on this stuff. You get on these proposals and you just comment, right? You comment and you comment and you comment. So when you comment, the proposer has 2 choices. You know, they either reply to the comment, change something, or they just say, no, I don't agree with you. You know, so I think comments are important, the structured feedback, but I also want to say, don't be too negative. You know, you don't want to scare good ideas away. So you have the proposal final submission phase, and this is when it goes from an idea to a proposal. That's on the 26th. And this is when the community advisors review proposals. That's what you get paid in IOTA for. You can do that as long as you don't have a proposal already in the system. And then that is from February 3rd to the 10th. And then Fund 3, the governance phase, starts on the 16th. Remember, don't keep these dates all together. I will release this information in the weekly recaps as it comes out. So the next step is just register an idea scale, you know, start participating. We need more people in this ecosystem working on this stuff, because I think the more people, the more ideas, the more perspectives, it'll be good. You know, so register an idea scale. You can also join the Catalyst announcement page on Telegram. There's a lot of good chats on Telegram. You can also join my Discord server if you have any questions. Link for that will be down below. But yeah, that's pretty much the Project Catalyst recap. You know, we've covered everything. Everything else was just talking about metadata and how metadata works. I've told you guys a million times about how metadata works, but that's kind of the town hall recap. The next thing we're going to be going to is just a little quick recap of the IOTA bridge stuff. What does that mean? How does it work? Talk about the IOTA bridge and Litecoin bridge and other bridges. How does this work? How do you essentially bring another currency on top of the protocol, right? So Cardano is a protocol. And what you do to bring other coins on top of it is the protocol has to first accept native assets, right? It has to accept tokens, or, you know, like Ethereum does it, you know, with ERC20, they have smart contracts that allow more tokens. But you have to have the ability to have multi-asset wallets, right? Where the same addresses can use different currencies. Those currencies have different labels. And how would you think about it? How would you move another currency over to this blockchain, right? There has to be some sort of locking mechanism on both blockchains that would allow it to where IOTA, see the issue with IOTA is the fact that they're actually built in a different way than most cryptocurrencies, right? So that first makes it harder. So what you have to do in that system is essentially lock up that coin in some sort of contract or some sort of lock while it's in this system, right? And that's how that coin holds value. You know, it stops the double spending on both platforms problem. And it's the same way with Litecoin. You know, you essentially lock it up and then you bring it over onto Cardano as a native asset. And that asset will work the same way ADA does, right? In the wallet, you'll be able to click, not ADA, let me click IOTA, right? And you'll be able to send it with low ADA fees, just as you always were. And then eventually, there will be a time when you can actually use the different currencies for fees, right? But that's going to take some governance, you know, some acceptance, you know, for the value of these fees. And it has to really work into the rewards mechanism, right? But yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to talk about the bridges because it's going to be really cool to see all of these different currencies on top of Cardano, because you guys have to look at the use case for this. I mean, I was talking on my live stream the other day and I said, well, I don't see how Bitcoin can be a store of value for people, right? How can Bitcoin be a store of value? Because what the average person does is they DCA with their paycheck, right? Well, what if you're just DCAing in $100 or $200 a month, you know, or every 2 weeks? The issue that you run into is the fact that you're going to be paying a $9 transaction fee every time you want to withdraw it from the exchange, right? So if you have Bitcoin or Ethereum, which is running at $50 a transaction fee last time I checked, if you have these on a protocol like Cardano that actually allows you to withdraw from exchanges directly into the Cardano protocol, whether it's wrapped ETH or wrapped BTC, that kind of solves the problem that I just mentioned. You know, Bitcoin can actually be a store of value as long as those fees are low, you know, because I would like it to be a store of value for everyone and not just people willing to pay a $9 fee because they invest so much in the first place, right? So pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. So the last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is the Celsius network and how they're actually interested in Cardano. And they're interested in Cardano for the same reason that a lot of us are, right? They have to pay millions upon millions of dollars in Ethereum fees, right, for their Cell token. Celsius is a platform where you can get loans on your currency, or you can kind of just like stake it, you know, with a centralized person and then actually get paid returns for staking it, right? So they're actually going to be using Cardano. They're going to be building some of their infrastructure on top of Cardano, and they're going to be using the EVM for that. And they're actually currently using the EVM testnet. And what the EVM is it's essentially a way for people to write in Solidity, and Solidity is the programming language used on Ethereum, and they can still use the Ethereum tooling. You know, they can use Solidity, and with all this tooling, it makes it a lot easier for people like Alex Machinsky to actually bring some of their infrastructure over to Cardano and actually take advantage of some of those lower fees. So this is really cool. I recommend you guys checking this out. It was a good thing from Crypto Crow. I really enjoyed it. Charles kind of gave him a cookie there. He said, "Hey, you can put this on your channel." And he got 23,000 views. I mean, that's pretty crazy for Cardano stuff, man. I'm jealous. But yeah, you guys should really check it out. I'm also going to be doing highlights of this, right, where I take all the most important clips and I put it into one video. So it'll be 10 minutes instead of like an hour, but it's worth the hour. I really think it is. The second channel, I have the link down below. It's Big Pay Clips. So make sure you guys check that out. But that's the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on it, comment down below. If you made it to the end, type Logi or Celsius down below. I'd really appreciate it. But I hope that you guys all have a good rest of your weekend and a good next week. Also, shout out to the sponsor of this video, IOTA Lovelace. IOTA Lovelace is a delegate of Bloom, and they sponsored a bunch of my AMAs, or not my AMAs, but my weekly recaps, to just say thank you for the awesome rewards, man. So thank you, IOTA Lovelace, the anonymous Bloom delegate. Peace out, guys. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.